What can you learn from a battle that happened over 150 years ago? You're going to find out in a second 3 leadership lessons learned from the Battle of Gettysburg. For 3 of the past 4 years, our leadership team has gone to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for an annual leadership retreat. And every year that we go, we like to go to the battlefield and do a tour of it. Not just a regular us walking around by ourselves, but we actually get a guided bike tour and go around for a few hours hearing about the different things that happened at the Battle of Gettysburg. And of those 3 years, we've actually had 3 different guides take us through. It was really cool because each tour guide presented a different perspective. They shared with us what they thought was the reason behind the Battle of Gettysburg victory for the Union. And so it was really kind of cool to hear different things over the past 4 years. So what I did was I took some of those lessons learned and put them to leadership and said, these are the leadership lessons learned that we got out of the Battle of Gettysburg. And we're going to talk about 3 of those lessons learned right now. You ready to begin? Here we go. The first lesson is to seize the opportunity. Here's the deal. On day 1, the Union soldiers were retreating actually in the Battle of Gettysburg. They went through the town and then got beaten up by the Confederates and retreated back. And it was at that time in the night between day 1 and day 2 that the Confederates had a real opportunity. That opportunity was that night the Confederates discovered the supply depot of the Union group. However, they never seized on that opportunity. They never took that depot. Rather, they thought, this is a trap. This can't be true. It's too good to be true. Well, let's just be honest. Sometimes if it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. But in this case, it wasn't. And instead of seizing on that opportunity and taking that supply depot, they backed off, and the Union soldiers discovered it later and were able to reclaim that. And so the Confederates missed an opportunity. The lesson learned here is simple. Seize on the opportunities. Do your research, yes, so that you're not falling into a trap, but seize opportunities when they are presented to you. The second lesson learned is regroup, reform, and go. Here's the deal. Like I said, in day 1, the Unions were beaten back, and they were really in a retreat mode. Usually what was happening in the Civil War, when someone was in retreat mode, they would retreat completely and not go back. However, the Union retreated out of Gettysburg here. They regrouped and reformed on Cemetery Hill and were able to figure out, what do we need to do from here? Rather than just leaving, they said, what do we need to do from here? And then repositioned themselves. They regrouped, they reformed, and they went and did something. Hey, the lesson learned here is simple. Hey, there are things that you're going to have to retreat from. There are things that are not going to go according to plan. However, that doesn't mean you completely abandon it and leave it alone. It could mean you just need to regroup, reform, and go again. Do something different. The idea may be great, but you may need to change it up a little bit. So regroup, reform, and go. Don't just abandon what you're doing. The last one's a simple one. It's, what's your nickname? But Tom, that's not a leadership principle. Yes, it is a leadership principle in the sense that, what is your nickname? What are you known for? In the Battle of Gettysburg, there was a Union leader, and his nickname was the Old Prayer Book. Why was he called the Old Prayer Book? Because he was known to be a devout, strong Christian man. So because he was a strong, devout Christian, they called him the Old Prayer Book. What is your nickname? And now listen, in high school and college, you may get a weird nickname like Frank the Tank or something else that probably doesn't imply something good that you did, but implies something crazy that you did or bad that you did. We live our lives and we're known for how we act. The Old Prayer Book was known for how he acted. And I bet you there was a lot of people who went to the Old Prayer Book to talk about life and to process things that were going on during the Civil War. So what are you known for? So there you have it. 3 simple things that I learned at the Battle of Gettysburg that involved leadership. But I'm curious, what have you learned recently about leadership? I would love for you to share below or go to #YMSidekick or even hit me up on Twitter @YMSidekick and tell me some of the things that you've learned about leadership lately. After all, I know that if I can learn something from a battle that happened over 150 years ago, we can learn something today about leadership. So I'd love to hear what you're learning. Also, make sure you check out YMSidekick the rest of the week. I got a podcast coming out. I got some more blogs as well. So check those out. And lastly, make sure if you like this vlog, definitely subscribe to this. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time.